And welcome back to 90s Noise. This is Ashley, born 1988.
I'm April, born 1991.
All right, before we get started with this episode, do want to give a quick shout out to the guys at Toys Were Us podcast that is run by Sean and Eric. Thank you guys so much for your quick shout out. We hope to maybe collab with you guys in the future. Also, if you're interested in collabing, just wanting to chat with us, you can touch base with us on our Instagram, 90s Noise. And yeah, we do pride ourselves on returning as many conversations as possible, as quickly as possible. But we love being able to talk to other podcasters and just people in general too. So thank you again, Toys Were Us. We look forward to hearing more from you guys in the future.
Look at the stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
I was wondering if you were going to break out in a song. I'm like, which one is she going to do? I was going to jump into Under the Sea.
Yeah. So if you can't tell, this episode we are taking it back to 1989 is this when this one came out?
1989.
But it still was a top movie in 1990 because it did come out like later 1989, so it was still in theaters and everything. In honor of the live action coming out in later this year, we are talking about the Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Is it a Little Mermaid though? Not the Little Mermaid?
Really? All right, let's double check us on this. Okay, so let's see here. Little Mermaid. It's at least the one coming out this year is The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
And so was the 89 version. The Little Mermaid.
I personally have not seen this movie in its entirety since the 90s.
I think I rewatched it probably about 10-15 years ago. It's kind of sad. It's still very well like in my brain for the most part. And so when you're like, hey, I just watched this, are we good? I'm like, yeah, I don't need to rewatch this. I watched it. To me, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's one of those that once you watch recently enough, you'll remember it. But yeah, like I said, I have not seen it since that time, so I needed a refresher for the whole movie because I honestly forgot most of what was happening in it.
Yeah. So let's just start because, okay, the only thing that kind of gets confusing to me going back in my memory is like the order of the songs. So what's the first song? The first one is with help me out here.
So you were asking about the songs?
Like the first one, isn't it like the
it's not really
ship
a song?
It's no, I'm thinking of like I think it's the opening scene. Is it the opening scene where like almost kind of like that theater or whatever? Trident is like, where's Ariel or whatever, because the youngest sister and stuff.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I guess. I couldn't remember if it was starting out on the ship or if that's where it started out. So they might have started on the ship, but I think the first song was
like
the theater
or something.
Okay, yeah. That was interesting, that whole setup. Like all of his daughters and like isn't it like,
yeah,
I don't know, it just was really weird. Like he had that many daughters and just the way that he came in and like you got your first intro to him. He just kind of seemed like a douche, like just riding in with the dolphins, and just the way he presented it, I was just kind of like, I don't like you. And then he's got 7 kids, and you're like, okay, well, how many of them are with the same mom? Like,
exactly. And then isn't it that like all of them, their Seashells. Okay, I gotta double check on this real quick. Their bras
Oh,
match their
which you know what
tails,
I
except for
noticed?
Ariel, or is it the other way around?
Like, you mean the style and color, or?
Like the colors, is
Hmm.
it? Because I thought, yeah, so like Ariel's doesn't match, but don't the rest of her sisters, like their bras match their tail color?
Honestly, I never even
Let me
picked up
double
on
check.
that. What are hers?
So her tail is green and her bra is like a
Purple?
purpley blue.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what the sisters had. I wasn't really paying attention to that. I just noticed that the king, he has nipples. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that.
Because wasn't there something else that Aladdin
Yeah.
that we were watching and we're like, he doesn't have them. What the hell? So yeah, if I remember correctly, and again, it's been a little while since I've actually seen the movie, and none of these pictures on IMDb are like screen grabs from of the sisters.
So you
So I can't quite
you have to
tell.
wonder, like, let's say all of her sisters were matching. What does that mean for Ariel? Like, why does hers not? Is she like from a different mom? Is
Yeah,
it just like a different age group that they upgrade, or I don't know. Like that.
yeah, and that because I think I remember that was always something that like bugged me in a sense, I guess, that it wasn't all uniformed in that same style, because I don't know, like as a kid, I'm like colors and
Mm,
matching with
mm,
that, and then everybody's like matching, and then she's just, and maybe that's part of it too, is that she's kind of a different character and doesn't follow the norm of what she's supposed to do, and that's why she's not matching. That might be part of it.
yeah, that's kind of what I would take away from it, I think, if there was that difference for sure. Do you remember like the first time you saw this? Was it kind of early on or was it later on?
So my middle brother loved this movie, and so I do think it was pretty early on, probably 91, 92.
Okay.
Like, I mean, probably one of the first movies, like, it was probably playing in the background while I'm being fed food or something in my high chair or something like that. I feel, I feel like one of us had a Ariel birthday cake
Ooh,
at one
okay.
time, I think. And I think it might have been me just because it was always playing and
Mm.
everything. Like, might have been like a second or third birthday. But I really think one of us did have an Ariel birthday cake. Because I just kind of remember seeing like a picture, and Lord knows where that picture is. But yeah, that's probably my first memory, like first
Right.
recollection of it would be probably about that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this would have came out when I was almost two, so I know for sure with my sister being older, she watched it and I know she was obsessed with it and really loved that. I don't think I for some reason I don't feel like I gravitated towards it because probably by the time I saw it, Beauty and the Beast was coming out around the same time and then I think that sort of whole world interested me more and so I didn't really, get too into Little Mermaid where I wanted different toys or clothes or stuff like that in that respect. Whereas I know with Beauty and the Beast, I had a whole birthday and all of that kind of stuff around that.
Hmm. Yeah, so with Little Mermaid, I do remember Disney used to have these like little figurine toys.
Mm,
And I remember having Ariel and Eric. And I think that was also maybe part of it too, was Prince's name was the same name as my brother. And so that might have been part of like the clicking in my brain or
right.
something. But I remember those would be the toys that like my parents would give me when we'd go to church to keep myself busy when I was really little and everything. And I think I had lost because I also had like Scar and adult Simba
Mm,
too. And I think I had lost one of the Little Mermaid ones. at church and down the downstairs basement
Oh
of the
no.
church, like because that's where that's where like Sunday school was held and everything. So it wasn't like, oh, we were sent to the basement.
Okay, I was about to say, what were you doing down in the basement?
But I think like I was playing and then I'd set it down because we were then doing like a group activity,
Oh
and
no.
I don't know if maybe another kid had grabbed
Probably.
it, but I was really upset that like for the service itself, like I think one of my parents had to take me home because I was so
Oh my
upset.
gosh.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't find it. I think it was the Prince Eric, the little figurine Prince Eric, and then like after that, I was like, I couldn't play with Ariel because she didn't have her
Oh
prince, and so
no. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Do you did or I should say, did you as a kid ever become fascinated with mermaids down the road? Like,
honestly, not really.
yeah.
It just I know that like it's funny, like I guess not funny, but I mean it is normal, I guess, for a lot of people, a lot of kids to go through like that mermaid
Mm-hmm.
phase. But I think my focus was too either animal focused, like I probably went through a unicorn phase,
Oh yeah.
or sports focused. I don't know, maybe the whole mermaid thing was a little too girly for me. I do think I had like one Barbie. I had Barbies are like the only things that I played with that were more girly based. And I did have like the one where you could had like the mermaid fin and
Oh yeah,
everything,
yeah. Yeah, I had some of those.
but that was not like a main focus. Like honestly, I preferred like just the regular ones. What about you? Did you ever go through a mermaid phase?
I don't think so. And I don't feel like there was really enough like content growing up to where the mermaids were thrown in your face so much where you became sort of like, oh yeah, mermaids are great and they're, let me get involved with that. Besides the Little Mermaid, there really wasn't much, I feel like, until more like late 90s, early 2000s, where they had you did you remember that movie
Yeah.
Aquamarine?
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
thinking 13th
And
year.
well, that too. Yeah, that was like the first thing that but that was about a boy.
Yeah. You know what's interesting though? If we were maybe like living in Australia, we'd probably have a different outlook on
Mm.
that because they had H2O,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a show, and I think that was in the 90s. I could be completely and utterly mistaken on that because I'm not
Yeah, I
super
think it
familiar with
was
Australian TV.
2000 at the earliest, I think.
You think so?
Just because
Let's double
I'm
check on
picturing
this because
like
I
who
know.
was in it, and if we're the same
Hmm.
age, I don't think she would have been 10 in it.
Okay, so this is how like off my time frame is. So 2006, because
Okay,
you're
I
talking
was gonna
about
say, yeah, like I was like that girl was. They were
yeah,
like almost teenagers. They were teenagers in that.
yeah. Are you talking about Claire or Phoebe
Is that their character names?
referencing? No, they're like actual
Oh,
names.
Claire
Okay.
and
Yeah.
well, and Phoebe. I mean, they're both from the vampire world, so.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's also just, I mean, it was Australia, but they had more, kind of a little bit more common down there. Like,
Yeah.
at least as opposed to, like, say, a girl growing up in Kansas having a lot of mermaid stuff because there's,
Yeah.
I mean, you can play to be a mermaid in a pool,
Exactly.
and that's it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever wanted to be a mermaid and have my feet constrained. Like, no, I don't
Mm-mm.
like the ocean that much to begin with, so I don't want to be out there swimming
Yeah.
and swimming.
I don't know. I mean, heck, they talk about how like people will be like, why is NASA spending so much money on exploring space when we have an entire ocean that has yet to be explored? And NASA's like, I think NASA's Twitter, whoever was
Mm.
doing their Twitter like responded was like, we know what's in the ocean. Space is safer. It's like
I probably, yeah, 100%.
it's like just thinking about that too. It's like the same thing. Like I wouldn't want to be a mermaid and like explore the depths of the ocean. That
Well, and just, I mean, thinking about it in a realistic terms, there's so much pollution down there too. So just this, the thought of mermaids even being able to exist, it just doesn't seem possible.
no, unfortunately. But
Unfortunately, do you want mermaids out there?
well, like no, but like I mean, unfortunately, like with the how much pollution's in the water and everything, it wasn't necessarily like unfortunately that mermaids don't exist, but unfortunate of how much pollution's in the water. You're killing me, girl. You're killing me.
I just wanted to make sure you clarified that.
Yes, I will clarify. But no, I do enjoy The Little Mermaid. It's not one of my top choices, honestly.
No.
Just because it's one of those things where, especially as an adult watching it and thinking about the whole concept of somebody giving up their voice just to be able to do something that they can't, such as like trade their fins for legs to impress somebody. Like that right there is
Not good. No, it's not a good
No.
message for kids at all. Like I completely forgot about that whole gist of the movie, and it kind of threw me for a loop because I was like, wow, like they really wanted girls to give up family and everything else just to go for this guy that she literally just met and is now in love with him. So,
and that has always been a bit of an issue with me for most of the Disney princesses. Because if you look back, now I don't know necessarily, I don't think I've really watched a Disney princess movie since Frozen, but if you look back, the majority of them are kind of about, like, in a sense, most of them are like helpless damsels in distress, giving up a big part of themselves. Even though Belle in Beauty and the Beast was very, very headstrong, and when they changed it for the live action, they made her the inventor. It still is hard for me to really resonate and everything with those Disney princess ones. Yeah, and it's always been that way. Like even as a kid, I think that's why I always preferred like going back to the older movies like Aristocats, Fox and the Hound, or The Lion King, any of those more animal based.
They weren't focused around some love story that of people just meeting and 2 days later they're married. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think I feel the same way for sure. I mean, I don't rate this one very high on my list of favorite Disney movies at all, and I think I never have. It's kind of always that last forgotten Disney princess, so to say. I mean, like, but
yeah. Now, I do have to give it credit where it's due. I do enjoy the songs in this movie. The music was super catchy and enjoyable.
I think one of my,
at least for me.
Yeah, I know you rated this higher than Beauty and the Beast, and I still feel like this one's at the bottom of my list so far. I had an issue with them using the song part of this world?
Part of your world?
I felt like they used it throughout too many scenes in the beginning, to where it was just, I was like, okay, like, I've heard it too many times now, and they just like they kept on throwing it in there for a good portion of the scenes in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then, like, I know Under the Sea, I know that's like really popular, but I didn't like it. Unpopular opinion, it just got really annoying in the movie. I was just like, I feel like they used too long of a portion of it for the movie, is kind of how I felt.
I do get where you're coming from, and I guess maybe I should restate my earlier statement. Did you ever get the Disney Mania CDs?
I may have had one.
Okay, so I really enjoyed the, like, A-Teens redid, what was it, Under the Sea, I think?
Oh,
And I
okay.
really liked that.
Okay.
And, like, honestly, those are more locked in my mind because I legitimately would listen to those CDs on loop constantly until they were so scratched I couldn't listen to them anymore. And they had redone, who was it? Somebody had redone A Part of Your World. I want to say it was maybe Jessica Simpson had done a rendition of that, which I really enjoyed. Whoever had done it, it was an enjoyable one for me.
Now, do you know if for this movie it was the same voice actor with singing voice? Because I don't remember that, if that was.
Let's see here. I'm not sure on that. It was, how did she? Let's see. I'm checking here.
I would say it should be on the soundtrack.
So, according to Google, when I just search Part of Your World, it does say a song by Jodie Benson, who was the voice of Ariel.
Okay.
So, at least on hers,
Yeah.
on the Ariel side, it was. And I think, like, Sebastian, I'm pretty damn sure was the voice
Yeah.
of Sebastian. But yeah, so I mean that is one of the interesting things where there are still so many where they pull other voices for the music. But I did like how Disney was kind of getting to the point where they were, okay, you also are gonna sing it. Not we're gonna just have somebody else sing and just make it seem like it's you.
Well, I feel like they only did that for Mermaid and Beauty, and then I think they started getting different voice actors for the singing after that. That's how it seems on a lot of those movies.
So, question for you. I don't know if you've seen going around, but there's a post, I think it's on I am 30 AF, where they had taken like somebody's like tweet, and somebody was like, when I was growing up, I resonated more with Ariel, but now as an adult, I resonate more with Ursula.
What?
It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I could kind of understand that, like, just kind of like an old tea hack. Yep, I can understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. In what way do you feel though? Like what do you feel like Ursula brought?
So, I mean, Ursula is villain, but like I mean, her, like, when you think about it, she was actually kind of a smart, conniving bitch, honestly.
Oh, she was a bitch. Yeah.
But I mean, she was pretty smart, honestly. Like, okay, this girl who has this gorgeous voice. Oh, she wants to be up where the people are. Okay, well, I want her voice, so let's do this trade. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I could kind of get it. But yeah, I don't know. What's your take on Ursula?
I thought she was really scary. Like if I'm thinking of it as like from a kid standpoint, she was
Mm-hmm.
pretty scary. But overall, yeah, she was a bitch. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I just kind of felt like the whole when she like was able to transform into kind of Ariel almost. How did she manage to do that?
I mean, she's a witch. Like, no, like, I mean, she's magical and everything. I mean, she gave Ariel legs, and
But is her dad the same way though? Because he has powers.
I don't know necessarily. I would think so, just because, I mean, like you said, he's got powers, but I think I think he could if he wanted to.
Hmm.
But of course he's the good guy in a sense, and it's mostly with his pitchfork, whatever the hell it's called.
Pitchfork. Oh.
Well, because his name is Trident.
Right.
So like Trident's Trident. Like I don't know. That's just a little
I
redundance to me.
guess.
I like pitchfork. I like pitchfork.
The fork.
The fork. Well, no, it's a thingamabob. That's what she calls it.
Did she?
I believe that's what
Oh.
what she's, because she takes everything to the seagull, and he like tells her what it's called or anything, and I think they called it a thingamabob, and she uses it to brush her hair.
Oh, yeah, the fork. The fork. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thingamabob.
Yeah, yeah.
The dingle hopper.
The dingle hopper. Did you ever use a fork to brush your hair after watching it?
I was thinking about that too. I'm like, I wonder how many kids started doing that around the house and their parents were like, that's a fucking fork. Like, no, I don't believe I ever brushed my hair with a fork.
I don't remember if I did or not. Yeah. I was gonna say something and I just like completely lost the train. I just like dove off that train of thought.
That's okay.
Okay, so here's what I don't understand. Okay. So how come the seagull can talk? How come Flounder can talk? How come Sebastian can talk? But Eric's dog can't talk.
I mean, it probably has to do with something about them being part of that under the sea thing, that whole community. Like, they all have.
But the seagull isn't.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe because he's like Ariel's friend, maybe her dad somehow gave them all the powers and he was a part like flying over at that time and
But then like what? Okay, so then the next question is
weird.
like, so then why in the shark scene doesn't she just say, "Stop! Like, don't come near me," and the shark obey? Like these are
Those are
the
valid
questions I had as a
questions. Yeah.
child.
That is a
Like
I don't know what
I'm
they're
like, what?
That's a good question. I am curious on their explanation of why only certain things were able to talk.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess in my mind, watching again Aristocats and those different animal movies, like all the animals
Mhm.
talk for the most
Yep.
part. And so I'm just like, okay, well, what made them so special? Why couldn't these ones talk too?
Yeah, there wasn't any consistency on that part.
No.
I don't know, Disney.
I don't know. Like I get it that trying to isn't this based off of a fairy tale, an actual fairy tale?
I think aren't all of Disney's tales based off of a fairy tale?
I think
But this one,
so.
yeah, I do believe it is.
It's like a book or something. I like an actual.
I don't know. I'm not ssure about that.
Let's
I think
see.
no, I do think I remember looking at that. Yeah, but I don't know what the actual tale is. Like what's because you know Disney always alters their shit, so I don't know what the actual.
Well, yeah, because I think, oh my God, if I remember correctly reading something about this, I think it ends up being,
She turned back into a mermaid.
I think it was
It was
dark,
dark.
like even darker than that.
Yeah.
Like she turned back into a mermaid, and then I think the prince like ended up eating her or something.
See, now remember when we were talking about dark Disney versions? That
Uh-huh.
that needs to be made into a movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be
Hell
badass.
yeah.
I would see that.
Yeah, like I would definitely go watch like a horror version of this where it's actually truly
Mm.
like more based on the story. It's that it was followed the storyline more than this did.
Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
I haven't yet.
So there was like this
How is
image.
it?
Well, I haven't watched it either, but there
Oh,
was
okay.
there was an image that I feel like's been going around of Flounder from the live version, like what he looks like, and talking about horror movies like that. He looks scary.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Okay. I gotta look this up now.
But no, I have not watched the trailer yet. I probably won't. I'll probably just wait until it's out on streaming and just watch the movie. I don't really feel like I need to watch the trailer. I mean, I know what it's going to be about, and I'd rather just watch the
Yeah.
movie as a whole.
Yeah,
Is
so
there do you see the picture? It's just
I see the
creepy
picture,
looking.
so it's creepy, but like it's actually more realistic. I do give them props for that. Like an
You
actual,
think it looks more realistic?
well, like that's, I mean,
I feel like
hold on here.
because like they were talking about how they're doing it's a live action movie, so nothing is
Mm-hmm.
animated, but but Flounder looks still very bad
Well, I mean,
CGI.
so what? Yeah, so with it, nothing's animated,
It's
but
those new animated animal things that just look not
yeah.
okay.
So, I mean, I think it's just more, it looks more like a puffer fish ins instead of an actual
He looks like
flounder,
he got
is what it
Botox, is what he
is.
looks like.
What are you are you looking at the same damn
I
thing as I
don't know.
am?
What are you looking at?
All right, give me a second here. Because, I mean, honestly, this just looks more like a actual puffer fish.
Yeah, I swear if we're not looking at the same thing.
That right there.
It's blurry, so now I can't. I can. Okay, so no, we're not talking about the same one though. That's Flounder? Are you sure?
I think
That's not
I don't
fucking
know.
Flounder.
Girl, I'm just looking up at fucking images
Oh my god,
from
April, no.
IMDb.
That cannot be
Well,
Flounder.
I could Flounder,
Uh,
Little Mermaid. Okay, let's see here. God damn,
it's
you're
a
right.
meme going around. Okay, now you see what I'm
It,
talking about?
now I found it. I was like, why does that look like a puffer fish? Because that is a puffer fish.
Exactly.
I'm like, what the hell? Have you seen this one? Where they compare it to a fucking pear?
That's hilarious. Oh my god, poor Flounder. What the fuck?
But like,
Wow.
okay, yeah, you're right. Like, fucking, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I'm hoping it's just a bad screenshot, but
I doubt it. Like, why? Why?
well, I mean,
Why?
I feel like out of all the characters, he was my favorite. Was he yours?
Mine was probably the dog.
I know, I was going back and forth between those two actually. I was like, well, I mean, the dog's cute, but he did bark a little bit too much, so I'm just gonna have to pick Flounder.
Well, because they wouldn't let him fucking talk.
I know, right?
They wouldn't let him fucking talk, so he had to bark. Like,
Aw.
what?
I wonder if it has something to do with humans, you
Where are
know?
you going with that?
Well, because us humans, we don't understand what animals are saying. Like, they're talking to us, but we can't understand them. So maybe that's why we only heard barking from him because he was always around humans. But maybe in reality, he was actually saying stuff to the mermaid people. I
But
don't know.
didn't Sebastian talk in front of the chef?
He,
Like, remember? Because didn't he get like,
I mean,
didn't he like
he
say something like let me go or something? I don't like that specific scene. I just remember like I thought there was like he had said something, and so like the chef was like, what?
mm,
Or something.
yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like that chef song. I didn't like it.
He had a song.
Yeah.
See that's how much I like.
You
There were things that I like.
you skipped over that part because I would any other time I watch it because he's
Yeah,
like trying to kill the animal, slice up the food, and he's chasing poor
yeah.
Sebastian around and just talking about all that. And I'm just like, I don't like you.
No, no, thank you. Yeah, the dog was probably my favorite.
Yeah, he was cute. I like that he saved him
He was cute.
because he wasn't
Yeah,
just one of the shitty people that would have just been like, oh well, boat's burning, sinking. He actually went back and got him.
yeah, exactly. So, what would be your favorite song from this movie? If you had to pick one, what would be your favorite song?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Probably I'm just gonna have to pick the ship one because I didn't like any of the other ones. Even though that one's awful in itself, but I don't know, I just didn't and like with the Kiss the Girl song, that one kind of confused
That's a little
me.
creepy one.
That one was creepy for one. It's like, did you get consent to kiss the girl? No. But with the animals all singing around him, did he hear them or not, because I was very confused about that.
I was always confused too. I
Okay.
was like, is he hearing like the croak,
Right.
croak, croak, or is he actually hearing them singing?
Right.
And so that was, yeah, that was very confusing to me too. And no continuity there whatsoever on that. I actually have to say probably one of my favorite songs, kind of going back to that, I resonate more with an old sea hag type thing, is the Poor Unfortunate Soul.
I forgot about that song actually. Yeah, that's actually probably one of my tops. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was really good.
It kind of got a second life with the Disney Channel doing the Descendants movies
Mm-hmm.
in the 2000 teens. They took some of those older songs and then had the children like singing them and everything, and no one can beat Pat Carroll.
Did you find it kind of funny that they kind of, Aladdin probably stole from them, but the whole villain getting large at the end, how Aladdin both Mermaid did that?
Yeah, that kind of was a thing of nightmares, honestly.
Yeah.
It really kind of was. Like, the whole time, it's kind of, there's some parts that are kind of a little scary, like with the sea hag and everything. And then it's just like, boom! And you're just like,
Oh shit.
no.
Yeah.
You're like, as a little kid, you're like, no. So with that, okay, kind of going in on that. Did you ever go to movies or watch movies with your parents and they tell you to cover your eyes on certain parts when you were a kid?
Honestly, I can't remember. I would hope that they would have said
Okay.
that, but I don't know.
Mine did a few times, and obviously, like, since I didn't see this one in theaters, it wasn't that kind of situation, but I think they did even when watching it at home.
Really?
They were like, they'd either, when I was young enough, they'd cover for me or tell me to cover my eyes. And I think at that part, because it is really a kind of scary scene.
I agree. Yeah, it is kind of terrifying.
This is the villain, and when they're regular sized, you can fight them. But then when they get bigger than a freaking boat, you're like, no thank you. No.
How did they defeat her again?
Was it something with Ariel's voice?
Yes, but I don't.
And that was another thing. What was up with like her voice being like the freaking her singing voice can cure all or whatever?
Well, it was also kind of like a dick move from Eric because he was kind of going for Ariel, and then all of a sudden Ursula comes with her voice, and he's like, "Oh no, it's this one." Even though they were doing pretty well, but then she comes along, and he's just on to her.
But didn't she put him under a spell?
Maybe. But he could have fought it.
That was the
True love.
I mean, that was the thing. Like, she put him under a spell,
Oh, yeah.
and maybe it was that. Maybe it was one of those like true love's kiss or something that helped break it. I can't remember that.
I think it might.
You just watched this thing.
I just remember the part where all of the animals get together and go attack her. Like I found that to be the best scene. That was funny.
Oh well, that's always the best thing when they ever have that kind of thing. But no, I think it was like true love's kiss. Yes, because
She got there just in time.
yeah, or something. But like because that's kind of one of the themes in Descendants, the trilogy, is that true love's kiss had, because there's the daughter of Maleficent, the daughter of the evil queen, and then the daughter of Ursula, and they all mention how true love's kiss undid their parent, like, was the demise of their moms and everything. And so
I mean, that's a plot device in a ton of movies, though.
and I hate it.
I hate it.
Like, because not like what 8 out of 10 times, it's usually the girl's unconscious or something. And it's like,
Oh my God.
um,
Whoops.
okay,
No.
about that.
Right. No.
It will be interesting to see how Disney does the live action. Like how
Yeah, how it's
they
translated.
into today's day.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
while I do think Beauty and the Beast, they did update some things, they didn't on some others
Mm-hmm.
that didn't really translate. And so I will be very curious to see how the Little Mermaid translates and everything.
So, speaking of live, did you watch the live Little Mermaid performance that they had?
No, I did
Did
not.
did you watch that clip I sent you?
No, I did not. I remember when they were having it.
Because I think it was in 2019. Yeah. I mean, I never watched it. I didn't know it was a thing. But I had I forgot how I got down the rabbit hole that even came across that video. But yeah, I saw.
Wait, this is the chef song?
Yes.
Why did you send me the chef song?
Because who's the chef?
Give me a second here. Oh, good lord. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would have liked to have seen him without the chef's hat and like with the hair undone because his hair is like longer than mine in this and everything. If you see the ponytail,
I know. It's funny.
yeah, I do vaguely remember seeing something about that when it was happening,
Hmm.
but it was, yeah, so it was what,
And I think
2019?
Queen Latifah plays Ursula in that.
So did you see who yeah, Queen Latifah plays Ursula. Did you see who played Sebastian?
I don't know if I watched that or not.
I don't know what year this song came out, but
Oh, Shaggy, right?
yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna
Yeah, I was trying to think
singing
of.
it wasn't me. Yeah, that's interesting.
I thought it was cute though. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that they did with Beauty and the Beast. So I thought it was, from what I saw, it looked like really well
Yeah.
done.
And Amber Riley was also in it. Oh, so the girl who played Ariel voiced Moana.
Mm,
In the Moana, that was like her first
big
first
acting
break.
role.
You wanna feel old here?
No.
The girl who voiced Moana, born in 2000.
She needs a baby.
I'm done. People born in the year 2000 or later, and the fact that those born in 2002 are old enough to drink.
Ooh, yeah, that is weird to think about. What about the ride at Disney? Do you remember? I don't know if I might have gone on it.
It's no longer there, right? Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Which one are you thinking about?
I don't know. Okay, not speaking, like, I don't know about a ride. I probably rode it in when we came down when I was 4 or 5 as a family, but there was one of the hotels had a Trident pool.
Oh.
If you ever did like I think it was like the Disney Vacation Club
Mhm.
thing, got the videos and everything, that pool was constantly featured because it was just a staple. And I don't know if Disney still does this, which I do think it is a decent idea, that if you stay on site at one of their hotels, you get access to like the pools at the other hotels and stuff like that. You can share those amenities. And so we specifically stayed, I think we were staying at the Blue Lagoon or Blue Bayou. It was like the New Orleans themed one. I'm sure it probably has changed names since then, but we were staying at that one, and we didn't even look at their pool. We didn't even find their pool like the first 2 days because I wanted to go to this other one with the King Trident. Like water slide or something.
Oh, what all did it have on it? Because that would give me false hope that I would like turn into a mermaid or something.
I know, right? Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to remember if it was like an actual water slide or if it was just. Okay. So I think it was this one. It was Port Orleans. I think it was. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It was like that, I think.
Hmm.
They've added to it since then. I'll have to find the actual, like, see, I'm gonna see if I can find the video. I'm sure YouTube has it somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
Well, we were sent to prepare for our Disney vacation. And like I said, this pool was like a mega feature on it. Like they had sent a pamphlet that showed everything too. So we drove, I think we had to drive like 15-20 minutes to get to this pool. And it was kind of, honestly, even as a kid, it was kind of underwhelming because it was legitimately just like a big like circle pool with the King Trident thing. And that was it.
Yeah, that would be very underwhelming.
I just remember we ended up, when we found our hotel's pool, it was like 10 times better. It had like a super cool water slide. It was very, I think it was more of like a Huck Finn type style thing, like treehouse type style waterfall. We enjoyed that like 100 times better than this
Heck yeah.
this other pool that we went to. It was just a lot more fun. And even as a 4 or 5-year-old, I enjoyed the one at our hotel better than the other. Like after we had found that, my dad was like, "So which one did you like better?" I was like, "This one." And he was like, "Yeah, I thought so." I was like, "Well, it took us like 3 days to find the damn thing."
I feel like it would have been hard for Disney to market this movie because like I don't remember ever seeing them too much around places for like meet and greets because you really couldn't meet many of the characters from the movie, you know what I mean?
No, I understand. And even like now, I think they only like really have Ariel and Eric like for their princess thing that they do at Magic, if they even do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but then again, if you think about it, like Disney's so focused on the new and now that they don't really even touch things that they have such a market for. Like even when they did the live action Lion King, you can barely find any of the characters in the parks, at least here in the States.
Yeah.
It's a little depressing because of how extreme, like they are sitting on a fucking gold mine with like the Lion King. Like they had the show and everything at Animal Kingdom, but I feel like it's even at Animal Kingdom not marketed the way it should be.
Yeah, that's true. Because it would be kind of, that's more for like the Lion King, but like that would be a cool ride concept if they had some sort of virtual thing throughout the safari. And
so with the Little Mermaid, what was the ride?
the only one I remember that I went on, like the most recently when I went to Disney, it was just like one of those, you sit in like a little car and you just kind of go around on this track, and they have different scenes like at each. That's the only one I remember, but I don't know.
That sounds boring as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. It is. It's the most pointless ride. Like you could have like a whole virtual reality of being under the sea and exploring and doing all sorts of shit, and then they just have you doing that.
Like that's one of those rides that you go on when it's too hot outside and you just need to cool off.
It's like It's a Small World.
Yeah. Like that's the ride where you're just in there because you need a cool place to sit and you want to be on your phone. Like, what the
I
fuck?
can't.
I can't. That's absolutely. I don't remember if there was any other rides like back in the 90s for Little Mermaid that was any different than what that one would have been. Yeah, they'd already taken out some of my favorite rides from the 90s before
Oh,
we
don't even,
moved back
yeah.
down to Orlando.
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode.
I don't really feel like they really tried to make a ride out of any of their movies, though, from the 90s. Like, what's the first one you can think of that they based off of it, to be honest?
Aladdin's magic carpet,
Oh,
the magic carpets.
I don't know if I did that one.
It's literally like Dumbo, but you're on a magic carpet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I did that. I did Dumbo.
Yeah. I've done Dumbo too, yeah.
That's not the carpet ride that we were talking about having.
No. Our carpet ride would have been cooler.
That won't get us to Australia.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go to Australia right now. Have you seen all those videos of all those like raining spiders and shit?
No, I don't want to watch that.
Oh, I'll find it. I'll send it to you. So, all in all, Little Mermaid, if you had to rate this, like, if it was a grade card, what would you rate this movie?
So like A to F,
Mm-hmm.
probably like a C. It's not bad, but it's just not.
Straight C, C plus, C minus.
I'm gonna have it lean more towards the C minus side. It's like I said, it's not bad, but it's not the movie topic that really holds my interest. Like we said before, it's the ones that are more animal based, and it just doesn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
What's your grade?
Straight D.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
so if you're giving it D, what do you rate Beauty and the Beast as?
Okay, let's do it this way. So, music-wise, I would give it probably a straight C. Beauty and the Beast is C minus on music. Story-wise, I probably would give Beauty and the Beast like a C minus, just all around. Like I said, that one just didn't
Okay.
really do it very much for me.
But it's slightly better than Mermaid.
Yeah, in all slightly better, but it'd probably just depend also on like my mood of the day. And today's mood of the day, Little Mermaid's definitely below Beauty and the Beast. I don't know, it's just like I said, the storyline was just very confusing as a child.
Hmm.
And I think the
Yeah,
only thing that
I agree.
really kept me was the music was so catchy. I think that was part of like what I did like about it was so catchy. But
Yeah, I mean, I
otherwise,
can only imagine if it didn't have those songs.
oh gosh,
I don't think it would have held up as
that would
well.
be. I don't think so either, and I don't think they'd be doing a live action.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. But it is still the same people that wrote Beauty and Aladdin.
Yeah, and that's what kind of surprises me, honestly.
Of why you like certain ones better than the other type thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And I don't know, maybe it was also just kind of maybe this one being 89 was kind of getting some rough drafts out of the way in a sense. I mean, I do think that if I remember correctly, I think this one took a little bit of time to get to production. I could be completely wrong on that. I could be thinking about one of the others, but
I mean, I know a couple of them did take a while to get the ball rolling.
mhm.
Like they had like a first script or something and it got rejected, and then they're like, oh, never mind, we'll come back to it another day. And years later, finally tried it again, and this time it worked,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah. And so, like I said, it's, I don't know, maybe because also they didn't have any cats in it.
Right, exactly. That's kind of why it's not at the top of my list. It's just not animal based
It,
enough.
it really
It's just a
isn't.
talking fish and a talking crab just isn't enough for me because, like I said, I'm not big on
No.
ocean animals.
If it was like talking dolphins,
Mm,
Even
turtles.
seahorses.
Oh yeah, they
Dude.
had that one in there. That was kind of
Up
cute.
top, little dude. Yeah. If it was like different, I think, but I mean, I guess in a sense I do understand because they're trying to kind of make it like everybody loves dolphins. Like dolphins are always so portrayed in a certain light, and same with
Hmm.
like seahorses and stuff. And so they're kind of trying to branch out. So I guess I do understand that, but again, I still have those feelings. Like those aren't a very cuddly stuffed toys.
Right. Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, I'm petting this, and it's like it's a
Crab.
fish. Like you don't pet fishes. Fishes. Fish.
Fish eye.
Fish eye. We're getting there.
Okay. So now rate your princes.
Are we rating them on the same scale?
Sure, why not?
All right. I give all three of them a freaking F. I'm talking Aladdin, I'm talking
Or
Prince Eric,
oh,
I'm talking the Beast.
or what's that one game? Kill, marry, fuck. Go, go.
None of the above. Kill, kill, kill.
Oh my God, April's so violent.
I am. Okay, so when you think about it, so if we're talking like Beast, if you catch it, he held other girls captive and everything. Like Belle wasn't the first captive he held because they talk about how they hadn't had guests in like 10 years, hadn't like done anything in 10 years and everything.
That's true. They did say that, and I did kind of question, like, what does that mean?
And so it's like, okay, so he tried to pretty much, in a sense, I guess, force himself on women for a little while, and then he finally gave up, and then Belle just happened to wander in, blah blah blah. So no, hell no. Prince Eric, like we said, he easily fell under somebody else's spell and pretty much just brushed her off, but was also just kind of conceited in himself and wouldn't even let his dog talk. So over with him.
Ugh, how rude.
Exactly. And then Aladdin, I mean, he
Lied.
he lied. I mean, he created a completely different persona to try to capture the princess's heart when he had already made her fall in love with him by being himself originally. And she already had fallen head over heels for him. And he didn't need to go through all that and lie and cheat and
Steal.
Well, I mean, he stole before he met her, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of, whatever. That's like low end of the totem pole of his transgressions against him. But so no, all three of them, kill, kill, kill. How about you?
I mean, after explaining it all that way, I agree. I'm right there with you. I'll help you.
All right. You bring the shovel, I'll find the plot of the class.
Nice.
No, I think that is, like I said, my big issue with Disney's princess movies is the false sense of reality that it portrayed to young girls.
Right. That you could easily get yourself a man by giving up your voice.
Or giving up whatever. Like, I mean, every single one of those movies, even before the 80s, 90s, and throughout, a lot of it was very similar. The female character gave up a big part of themselves to be molded into somebody who they really aren't. And that just, I don't know, like, I don't agree with that. Like, I understand that people change.
Don't like that. Right, but you shouldn't have someone else change you. And you shouldn't want to change just so that they see you in a different light type thing.
Exactly. Like, if you're changing, that, if the first change needs to be for yourself. And then be okay with yourself. And then if people love you, they'll be fine with it. Now, granted, like we're talking like
I mean,
good changes, not like going down a crazy like drug-filled spiral or anything like that that can hurt yourself or other people. But anyway, little side
yeah,
note.
yeah. I mean, it's just, she did seem like she was kind of almost being a rebellious teenager, like, acting out in that sense, like, oh, I'm just gonna run away and I'm gonna do this and my dad won't stop me type thing. And didn't really
Yeah,
care what the consequences were.
yeah, that is the story of so many teenagers'
Yeah.
lives.
If I was her dad, I would have just left well enough alone and not have helped her in the end.
You got yourself into this mess, you will get yourself out of this mess.
Exactly, gotta learn the hard way.
Yeah, you don't learn unless you learn the hard way. Gotta love Disney and their tropes they shove down the children's throats.
And there were a lot of them.
Oh yeah. It's like if you think about it, like even in some of their like animal based ones, there were some questionable things, but nothing quite like what there were in their human based animation.
It's a valid point. Kind of gotta almost give it to him though for basically saying the same thing. The king talking about how like we're just fish eating spineless humans, and kind of had to agree with them.
Yeah. Yep. All right. We'll probably have to jump back into Little Mermaid once this new one comes out and do some comparisons. Yeah. Definitely interested to see how they do with the music, and though I am probably gonna have nightmares now watching Flounder.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna replicate all of that.
Yeah. You got anything else for Little Mermaid?
I do not. I don't really have a saying to go with that.
Fish out of the water?
I don't know if that applies in this situation.
I don't know. But I'm just trying to throw something.
Flounder and whoever said it, like cold fins.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
That's the only pun I got.
Definitely not part of our world.
Oh. On that note,
make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and we will be back next week with another episode of 90s Noise. Let us know if you have any suggestions on something you'd like for us to watch in general from the 90s, whether it be a show, a movie, or some music. Let us know and we will touch on that for sure. So,
yay! All right. Well, peace out, everyone.
Peace.